What's going on, YouTube? It's NC, a place we chill, Mr. Andy, back to give you guys another TV experience. And this time we're doing an audio version. Joining me is not Deion Sanders of Primetime.
What's up? What's up?
And the greatest catch, Lady Sketch.
Hello, everyone.
The man, the myth, the reality, the revolutionary Q Flow the Rookie would love to be with us right now, but he said he had to go watch the playoff games tonight, so
I'm sorry. That's not funny.
Yeah, so I was just like, but bro, we talking about basketball tonight. So look, obviously, I do the TV experience here, and this time we're going to be talking about a series that just ended, because there are some that I want to do episodic reviews that warranted that, and there's some that's like, okay, after the whole season is done, we can talk about it as a whole season, and that is Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Let me tell you something real quick. First of all, I didn't think this thing was true. Their Prime said, hey, you know they're making a Magic Johnson TV series. I said, what? And then he started sending me, like, the posters. And I was just like, okay, I like it until he showed me Quincy Isaiah, who's the guy that plays Magic Johnson. And I was just like, I don't know how I feel about this. So then I went and watched the trailer for it. I said, oh, my God, they really about to do the thing about the Lakers Dynasty. And once again, me and Prime, basketball heads. Prime, would you consider yourself a basketball head?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Shall we go with that? If for those that you got sneaker heads, you got basketball heads, you got a lot of people that are just really well versed.
I'm not Stephen A. Smith, if that's what you're asking now.
Let's go with that. It's taking me out.
Okay. Yeah. I would say I'm a little. I've always preached about it's wrestling and basketball for me. It's always been them two. It has never flip flopped. It has never changed. So when I was just like, when they do these kind of basketball stories, when they do these kind of documentaries, I'm naturally into it because I 90% of the time know the story. And when they say it's going to be the rise of the Lakers dynasty, I said, oh, there's so much that they got to talk about. I want to see what kind of show. Is it going to be like a one-off type thing? Is it going to be a series where it talks about, like, each episode is talking about a different year in the Lakers dynasty? Or is, which would be more of a anthology type series? Or are we going to actually tell in detail the whole damn story? So that's what we got here. And first off, for Lady Sketch, who is not a basketball head.
I am a novice at best.
Okay. How did you feel coming to the series?
I'm gonna say I was a bit skeptical because I didn't know if I was
Sixers fan, huh?
really going to enjoy yeah. But I didn't know if I was really going to enjoy it. And also, you know how I feel about projects that are autobiographical, or not but that are biographical and don't have the cooperation of the people involved.
Yeah.
It's a pet peeve of mine. So I was curious to see how that was going to work out. But I ended up liking it.
Yeah. So, one thing is the show really surprised me. And at first, I was just like, I want to know where we're going because it took, I think, the first 3 episodes. I mean, I knew the story. I understood we had to go through all of the paperwork, basically, to get what we was going through. Mm-hmm. But I did not think that we was really going to get through all the paperwork. Mm-hmm. To be completely honest with you. I didn't know we was going to go through the whole, Dr. Jerry Buss being broke, and then taking his gamble on the Lakers, mm-hmm. and then going in trying to find the coaches, and trying to go and find the staff and the Jerry West. I know he was going to write all this. I know we were going to start what Paul West said. We were going to start right there when they drafted Magic Johnson in 1979. They said that, or I thought it was going to be more of a let's follow Irvin Johnson through Detroit, and let's follow Larry Bird, through French League, type thing like that.
I mean, it's a better way to reel you in.
Yeah. But I was just like, but you know what? It's nice about the Lakers dynasty, so obviously we got to talk about Dr. Jerry Buss and all that kind of stuff like that. So is that what you were feeling at the beginning, Prime, or how did the series, start itself for you?
I thought we were going to get, typical... I thought we were going to get the story, but I didn't know we was going to get, this part of the story of what we got. I thought we were just gonna get a straightforward story.
Okay. So real quick before we just go into the characters that we like and stuff like that. So how y'all quick just before we get into sports stuff like that of Winning Time. Prime, we start with you. So series is over now. They've been renewed for season 2. How'd you like Winning Time?
I really enjoyed it.
That's okay.
Yes, I'm being short because I'm trying to get my dog on.
Okay,
Whatever.
it's quite all right. Lady Sketch, you said you enjoyed it too?
I liked it, yes. I would overall give it probably like a B, somewhere in that range, because there were some issues. But nothing too crazy. It was good. I am kind of curious about how they're going to approach the next season, though. Like, is it going to be just a continuation of this story? Are we really going to go through every year of the 80s with, like, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So overall, I really loved it, and I will explain my reasoning for it deeper about loving it, because there's a lot of controversy with this show, with a lot of parties involved not liking this show.
No, I really like it. It's a show. Yeah. It's a show about real people, and it's also a show that you gotta like sell to casual people too. So I like it.
Yeah, I'm not saying this. I want to make that clear. I don't think there's something wrong with you liking the series, because there are some people out there that really love the series, and I'm just saying. But there are parties involved that are not involved, that do not like say the show. So this show, off the bat, put up a disclaimer at the beginning, letting everybody know that this show is a portrayal of factual events that has been dramatized, and and added some extra spunk to it just to create drama.
Yes, they spice it a little bit.
Yeah, so they spice it a little bit. But I mean, if you're a basketball here and you know the whole, thing that's going on with it, you understand. You know what's real. And sometimes people don't know what's real and what's fake at all neither. Also,
I was going to say that. I don't know what direction you were going to go with this. But I didn't know if maybe, because you are the basketball head here, if you can tell us what is, like, what seemed to be dramatized and what was true. Like, what is...
Oh, no. I mean, there's a lot of... I would say there's a lot of stuff that is dramatized from true events.
Yes, so like, is there something like, okay, they spiced that a lot. Like, it's possible that didn't even happen. Of course, like
the Spencer Haywood thing was true to a point.
That's why I wanted to know, like, okay, so was he really out here on that stuff and got cut?
Yes.
Did Jack McKinney really slide across that pavement like that?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Jack McKinney did have a bike accident.
That's
he had a bike accident, and he slid. They say he slid 18 feet or 17 feet.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Listen, they didn't make it seem like that. It was that bad, and like they made him look banged up, like he really was fucked up.
Yes.
But they didn't have him slide 18 feet in the show.
I mean, would you really have wanted to see him slid across the ground? Yeah. Okay.
Oh God.
So but obviously some of the drama happening with Magic and Cookie was spiced up a little bit for the drama of having Magic and Cookie and stuff like that, and okay, of course, the way they wrote Larry Bird and the way they wrote...
Well, obviously, they don't...
Yeah, and the way they wrote Jerry West was more for comedic stuff. And you know what? Here's the thing.
Was Norm Nixon really a dickhead? That's really what I want to...
Well, I would say yes, and because that he's being played by his son, he could have just simply asked, did that really happen? Or did something similar like that happen? So... I kind of like that. I feel like he got real experience since he was actually there.
Yeah. Now, so I seen this review. Somebody put a review out, and they were saying that I just watched Winning Time, and I just watched They Call Me Magic, and they said that each series balances the two. What I don't get in Winning Time, or what can be fabricated, I will get that from They Call Me Magic. But when it comes to some of the other stuff that they call it Magic is missing, I get from Winning Time. So they say it almost kind of complements each other. You know what I found it out when I watched that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar documentary, The Minority of One. They had on HBO Max. I don't know if you've seen that one, Prime. That Kareem Abdul-Jabbar documentary.
No, I have not.
It's a good one. It's ladies, sketches. It's okay if you cough. We understand that you still fight a cold, so don't even worry about it. But it was a great documentary that was about Kareem, and I was like, okay, so I just seen Winning Time, so I was sitting there seeing like what they got right in Winning Time and what they got wrong with, and for the most part of how things acted in Winning Time, it's in his documentary. They do not talk about his first wife. They do not talk about, they don't get too much answer because they focus on the year 1979 to 1980 and stuff like that. Yeah, so that the very first year when they drafted Magic and things like that. So there was, I was just like, okay, I can see what's up balanced stuff out there. I can understand both sides. I can understand why Jerry West would be upset by the portrayal.
Yeah.
And I can also understand.
Man. I feel like it's a drama, man. I feel like he had the best character.
And I was about to say, for the other side, I do understand that they portray him now because it's clearly supposed to be for comedy, or in the drama of all the stuff that he goes on. Because if you watch the 30 for 30 called the Lakers versus the Celtics, when they do the whole history, not just the 80s, they're talking about the whole history of the Lakers versus Celtics. When they talk about the 60s and the 2000s. And they talk about that whole rivalry, and when they talk about Jerry, and when they interview Jerry West, talking about him losing to those Boston Celtics every fucking year in the 60s, you can't, it's like, I can picture him being that thrown off.
That was part of my favorite parts when he was beating up on that damn trophy.
Yeah.
I said that poor trophy didn't deserve none of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's obviously chill by now, obviously, but
I mean,
this was, this was like
I'm
40
not saying
years
that
ago.
his behavior, he's a very professional guy, but I'm not saying,
Yeah.
but
we don't know how he was 40 years ago, though. So.
that's true.
This is true, but I'm just saying, if
It took him a while to get there.
it could have been, but just knowing the backstory of him never winning a championship and the time he does win a championship, it's not even because even in the documentary he was like Boston was too chicken shit to show up. Yes, it's almost it seemed like when they wrote him like that, I just thought it was hilarious.
Bruh, when dude rolled down the divider and he was giving him the finger.
Yes,
that shit was funny.
I thought I had to agree with Prime Time. Like I said, I'm sorry that Jerry West doesn't like the portrayal of the character or something like that because I thought it was funny.
The casting was phenomenal.
I thought the casting after watching it, I thought because I started liking Quincy Isaiah at the end because I was like, there are moments, especially when he was in the playoffs, I was like, okay, he do like magic right here.
Oh, I was talking about just Jerry West at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I thought John C. Reilly did great as Dr. Jerry Buss.
Yeah, John C. Reilly did good.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody
is a good pick for Pat Riley. And Norm Nixon's son is him, so that's
yeah.
And no, that's not him.
But Jason Segel as Paul West here, I
don't know what they look like.
Okay.
Because these are people I know what they look like in real life.
Okay.
And I'm just like, okay, I can see that, which is why.
Solomon Hughes, I think, still did a good job as Kareem.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
He did a good job.
Especially that late 70s, early 80s Kareem.
Don't know. I'm pretty sure next season he'll get the goggles.
Well, he don't get the goggles till like 83.
Yeah, so I'm sure next season he'll get it. I don't know where they're going with next season, but I'm sure they're going to have them in the finals.
Y'all need to figure out how y'all finna recast Dr. J. Because that was disrespectful.
I'm sorry, Pride.
That was disrespectful.
The whole Sixers, Dr. J, Daryl Dawkins, Mo Cheeks. I was just like,
who is this?
I said, they got the most generic Sixers. They just got the most. He said, look, y'all need to be them.
Because and it was like they really put time and effort into the Lakers. Because
I think Larry Bird looks great. The guy who plays Larry Bird.
Yeah, he looks pretty much like him back in the back in the 80s. I can see that. Spencer Haywood Wood Harris is a good pick for him, I think. So I was just like, okay.
And you know also, what was it? Delonte DeZore, who played Michael Cooper. Look at picture of Michael Cooper.
I think I did look at a picture of Michael Cooper. And he looked like him too.
He looks like Michael Cooper. Yeah.
It was just a disrespect to the Sixers that I just couldn't stand for. Maybe I'm biased, but whatever.
Now, the guy that looked like the guy that played Jamal Wilkes, I'm surprised he didn't get more lines because I could have sworn I thought Jamal Wilkes was more of a name in the Lakers than what they portrayed.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of people that obviously have more star power and stuff like that in there because, like I said, we seen a George Gervin layup in the intro. I never seen George Gervin, and I was just like, oh, okay, because I thought it was gonna get more of them, but I thought everybody who had little parts from David Stern to Red Auerbach to Larry Bird to all those people, I thought they did a good job at casting them.
Even though
Paula Abdul.
No, I know you didn't like Mike Epps.
I did not.
Oh my God, no!
I did not like Mike Epps as Richard Pryor. I did not like Mike Epps as Richard Pryor.
Nobody asked for that
at all, and I was just like, "That's not." I know he wanted to play Richard Pryor so bad. But I'm like, and this is probably like a test. But I was like, I'm not. I wasn't. You know what? When it came to a lot of the celebrity castings, I'm glad a lot of them didn't talk because the guy looked like Bill Cosby. I was just like, maybe.
When was this?
Episode 3. You didn't see episode 3.
I thought it was the first episode, honestly.
No, Bill Cosby came in the third episode.
Yeah, when they was going to the premiere.
Yeah, when they went to the premiere, yeah. Now, you know what? That's my fault. I did not play the third episode to Baby Girl. I should. I was like, I want her to. I want to start with the shit going on. So
the movie premiered. It was like, oh, it's Mr. Cosby. So everybody just said, forget the Lakers. We're going to see what Bill Cosby's doing.
Yeah.
Well then.
But you know what? Honestly, episode 3 was actually pretty. I liked episode 3. Also, I think episode 1 and 2
was disrespecting all the Philly, huh?
That was, yeah. So I was just like, but when they showed him and Richard Pryor, and then even Orlando chose Elgin Baylor, I was like, I would like to see more of it because Elgin Baylor is a huge part of the Lakers organization. Mm-hmm. And I would like to see more of him, other than just that payphone incident.
He just.
Well, he wasn't a big time. He wasn't a big part of the Lakers in '78. So I guess it makes sense to Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, the little things like from Jeannie Buss to like I said to Paula Abdul as catch her as the Lakers girl stuff like that.
So that was her.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's the first Lakers girl.
Yeah. So all those
and then Jackie happened.
Yeah. Those ones I was like, okay, you know what? I'm really cool.
Did you notice the people in the crowd too?
Which episodes, or just in general?
Just in general, they had Jack Nicholson, Stevie Wonder.
I noticed Jack Nicholson. I did not know Stevie Wonder.
It was Stevie Wonder when he had he still had a low cut.
Oh, okay. Did they show Michael? Because they kept talking about the Jacksons.
I don't think they
did.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, they kept referencing them, and we already know that the Jacksons was close to the Lakers. There's pictures of the Jackson and Magic Lily standing 2 houses over him because he's so damn tall. And of course, we know Jackie goes out with Paul Abdul down in the future. So I'm just saying, I thought they probably could have showed the.
Nah.
Because I know they said they had Quincy Jones in there also, and I miss Quincy Jones.
Yeah, he was in there for literally 2 seconds.
Yeah. So did they have a lot of stuff because it's the Hollywood thing. So, when it comes to what you about to say, Lacey?
I'm sorry, I was looking up trying to compare people. I just looked up Jeannie Buss to kind of get because it's more fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was with Phil Jackson. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. During the time when he was the coach of the Lakers.
The Lakers, yeah.
That's probably why he had. Yeah.
I see now. I was about to say, oh yeah, it's a good casting, and it was like partner Phil Jackson. I said, what the heck? Sorry, go ahead.
Which I don't know how much older. I don't know how much older he was than her, but
very much.
Yeah.
She is 60. Phil Jackson is pretty old.
Probably older than that.
Phil Jackson is 76. That's not weird at all. But go ahead.
So, but what? So that's the casting part. One thing I liked about the show is they obviously had Dr. J.
Oh, she had to wear a fake nose too.
Oh, well, I didn't see that. But Dr. J. was breaking the fourth wall throughout the whole episode. So
yeah.
we was going through. He was explaining to us. It's almost like for the casual fan, he was explaining to us why these things are happening and why I gotta do it this way. And, it basically just gives some kind of backstory to it for people who don't really understand it. I kind of like that way. And they also had the style of, it looked like this thing was recorded in the 1970s.
Yeah, at different parts.
Yeah.
And I also did like how they broke down the business side of it. Like they showed all the logistics that go into acquiring a basketball team and keeping it afloat.
Yeah.
Especially in the time when the NBA was like in dire straits. And honestly,
which they did not hold back on.
Nope.
Okay.
And honestly, it gives you a more clearer view as to why it's so difficult. Like you have to have money. Mm-hmm. Like we've trampled on people money to own a team anywhere because it is so expensive. Mm-hmm. Just to keep the organization itself running. That's insane to me.
Yeah, you made a good point. I enjoy how they did the breakdown and stuff like that. And I'll get to the business. I like the style of the fourth wall break. I like the style of them record. Like it's an actual recording. It's the year 1979, 1980. This is how the film would look at that time. So, like I said,
it's just an Instagram filter.
I know it's an Instagram filter because I was thinking like, what would this look like in 2022's, filter. I'm just like, it would look the same. I said, but no, you know what? It's something different. And I wasn't expecting that. And even the way they did the camera cuts, I was like, this is the way they would do it. Go back and watch any blaxploitation movie.
Oh, Jesus.
Or any movie from the 70s, and you're like, you know what? These camera cuts, these awkward zoom-ins. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or these shadows where they got the best light. I was like, for somebody who's a fan of those movies, I said, oh, this is definitely something that, I'm getting into. So, now, I'm curious to hear from Lay's sketch for somebody who's not too much familiar with the basketball. When they start introducing the different players, Norm Nixon and Michael Cooper, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, stuff like that, when they introduce you to their backstories, say your initial thoughts, because obviously the biggest thing, is Magic and Cookie.
Okay, so to be fair, I'm not a complete I'm not completely oblivious to basketball. Yeah. I know who Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. I know about the style.
Say it again.
Listen, it was a struggle.
It probably she said I know who Luau Cinder is.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I know who Luau Cinder is.
I know who he is. Thank you. Of course, everybody knows who Magic is. I know who Norm Nixon is solely because he is married to Debbie Allen. No, I can't front. That's why I know who he is. Okay. I've heard of Michael.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even know that.
He is married to Debbie Allen, yes.
Both of them sisters have Africans. Felicia Rashad was married to Ahmad Rashad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's why I thought that was their son. Their son is on Grey's Anatomy with her. Okay. I was just like, no, this is his son.
You know Grey's Anatomy now?
Yeah, she's been on Grey's Anatomy for a long time. She was I almost said Jesse Jackson. Lord Jesus. Oh, she was Jesse Williams' mama on there.
Oh, okay. Is that is his mom though, right? The one that plays in this.
Who?
Debbie Allen's son.
Is that Debbie Allen's son?
No, this is his son before Debbie Allen. Okay. He had a baby before that. Okay. So I knew about that. I did not know that Spencer Haywood was married to Ahmad and they had a baby. Didn't know that. And he was on that shit.
Because you just used to the
David Bowie.
David Bowie era.
Had no idea. Like, I knew she had a black daughter. Uh-huh. I mean, like a...
Yeah, all the way.
black daughter. but I didn't know it was with Spencer Haywood. So yeah, it was kind of interesting. And then we watched that Magic and Larry documentary, so I had an idea about Larry Bird's backstory before this. So it was cool. I thought it was because I was kind of concerned they were just going to do Magic, like they were just going to talk about Magic and all the stuff that's happening with him because he's Magic Johnson. But I thought that was it was nice to actually give some depth to the team. Like because I hate that when it's like, all right, so we talking about a whole team of people, but it's all about the one, like the superstar person, and the other people are just side characters.
I think they sometimes gave them too much depth.
A little bit. They gave Spencer
I did not need to see them swinging around in the locker room.
As soon as I see the scene, I said, baby, I guarantee probably be like, yo, why them dicks were swinging in my face like that?
Yeah, what was happening in
because, bro, no. When I tell you, I was watching with my mom one episode because she wanted to watch it. She was like, "Oh, they just showing that." I'm like, "Okay, come on."
Okay. To be fair, this show was rated TVMA because they definitely showed Magic eat pussy.
They
showed
that. They showed Jerry Buss. The first 4 episodes, Jerry Buss was drowning in titties. Okay, it was titties everywhere. I was just like, I think we should put a timer, like a stop clock on between the time with titties appear in the show.
I think John C. Reilly had that in his contract.
He had to.
He said, I need titties.
He was sucking on him, looking at him, laying on him, playing
that
patty cake with him.
That episode with the maid didn't have nothing to do with nothing at all, and he just somehow still got to play too.
I was like, my God! And then finally we got past that. I was like, oh, he does other things. I had no idea. That was his whole story arc. I'm broke. I wanted by the Lakers. Titties. My mama died. The Lakers won. That was the whole that was his trajectory in the show.
When they show a flash of when Magic was having like a threesome, I was like, oh, this the kind of show we're going to get.
No, that threesome, when his mom, are you eating? Yeah. What?
That's the episode 3 I got to show you when he's talking to his mom.
I saw that clip.
Oh, yeah, he just had the girl hold this right up in there. I was like, oh, so this the way we go. This the Magic we see it in this episode.
The episode is funny, though. Well, the one scene I thought was funny is like when they was at church, and they had just got at the car, and then the mom and the dad was looking like, And then and Magic was acting like just nothing was wrong, and then his parents just like, Magic, we know you, we see you.
Is this the cookout one where he was out there in the front, giving it to that girl, and they in the back getting the food ready and shit? That's it, sir. How you just finna walk in it? Don't you kiss your
I thought that was at church. Because he said church about to be over.
Oh.
No. That's when they was having sex in the car during church.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it episode 3, Prime?
I don't remember, because I remember he gave Cookie's boyfriend the money.
Okay.
He was like, here, it can't go in your pocket. It's too much. I'm sorry.
No, I missed that one, because the one I saw was when he was messing with the other Harris brothers' daughter. The one
wait. Did you not see any of the episodes where he was where he was like kind of battling Cookie's boyfriend?
Oh no, I saw that one. That basketball game where he embarrassed that man.
Yeah.
Why would he do that? Why would Cookie let him do that? I can't say the N word. I'm sorry. She was setting these men up for the okie doke this entire show. I was like, she had to be getting off on this in this show.
She even kind of admitted. She said, I got that man wrapped around my finger.
That's cool and all.
Magic called talking some of your cooking ain't no class right there. I'm like,
why do you know her schedule?
That man on the schedule. Okay.
But she was setting dudes up for the okie doke in this show the whole time. The dude she was met the church man she was messing with that he embarrassed on the basketball court. Then there was how was it? You went to whatever that school was, University of Michigan.
Yeah.
Don't you know Magic? Oh no, I can't say that I do. Now this man gonna start messing with you. Magic finna call and you gonna get up and go talk to him for hours. He's just gonna be sitting there waiting for you. Know that.
No, see,
what's gonna happen.
What's probably gonna happen is Magic gonna find that she's talking to somebody. Then you get mad,
Yeah.
And they could probably blame that on how you do the championship next year.
It's gotta be like, bruh. That whole thing was a mess. I was like, why she let him go? I would have been like, we gotta go somewhere else. I just that's ridiculous.
I never thought we was gonna get this much Magic and Cookie in this series at all.
I kind of thought we would.
No, I thought it'd be like, hey, that's Cookie. Like, okay, we got another character there right there. But I was like, but I not think it was going to be to the point like we actually gonna dive into this relationship. You know, him and Cookie, and it's to the point where I was like, he want him some Cookie, but he want the world too.
Yeah, he wanted to have his cake and eat it too.
And
literally,
a lot of those incidents he did that.
That's what I said. Literally, he wanted to have his cake and eat it too.
Especially when he fucked the friend.
That was wild, bro. I would have kicked that man. I would have stood on a chair and kicked that man in his neck.
Can I tell you how many times Prime and Q was saying, ain't gonna be no Irvin Jr.? I said, what the fuck they talking about? Because I didn't see the show yet.
Oh. Y'all are ridiculous.
They can't go back.
Ain't gonna be no Irvin Jr. What you mean?
I was like, oh, that guy's big trash.
And the fact that he was definitely big trash, and the fact that he actually called to tell her, well, it don't matter because she lost the baby. What? Who called somebody in jubilation for that?
Because it's cooked.
It's out of pocket. You shouldn't have slept with her friend.
Well,
and her friend shouldn't have slept with you because they both was in the wrong.
Yeah,
remember he said, surprisingly,
you ain't show up.
Surprisingly, I thought that was going to be the one that he had to be with, but it's not.
That's why I thought he was going to do that also.
I did too.
So,
but I looked it up. I was like, it's not her. It ain't Rhonda. I gotta go look at Rhonda. She was so mad. I'm not even. I get it.
She was your friend too. If she was pissed,
as rightfully so. And then we're gonna go lie to Dr. J and his wife. No, was it Dr. J?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
couldn't remember.
I know he looked like any other body.
Because he looked like random black man number 2. Come on now. Why y'all do that?
You cannot sit here and say they did a good Dr. J on that one.
I mean, honestly, the only person that looked like a parody in this is Dr. J.
He really does. It looked like somebody casting had a problem with him.
And I was like, when Magic was young, looking up at the Dr. J post, I was like, why he looked the same? Dr. J at that time had the fro and the goatee and the gold chain. That's what made Doctor. And I was like, he looked the fucking same.
He looked that was a mess. I think
I can tell that's a wig. I can tell that's a mustache. I can tell all.
That was the only person in this that I was just like, y'all didn't give much care to this, did you? Y'all didn't even make him the same skin tone.
It almost made him see like this. Oh shit! The Lakers played the Sixers in the finals in year 1. We need Doc.
What that dude from For Your Love at? He ain't doing nothing. What else he been in besides For Your Love?
That's the only I can think of. That's what I can think of for Your Love. Now let's go on to Kareem. How did you enjoy the backs? Because the way you was talking, I was like, I don't know if you kind of knew about, Kareem when he first became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, I've heard the story.
Oh, okay. Because how he was just like, black militant.
Yeah, I've heard the story. I've heard the story when it was, because honestly, when you, especially with old black folk, when they telling the story about Muhammad Ali and how he changed his name from Cassius Clay and how he found Allah and all that, naturally you're going to get the same spiel about Kareem. I cannot say this man's name today. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There you go. So yeah, trust me, I've heard the story several times. But yeah, I didn't know about like some of the stuff that I was seeing when you were watching his documentary, like on the back end. And him, getting mixed up with everything and folks taking advantage of him and stuff like that. I didn't know about that part. But yeah, none of this surprised me. Like the way they portrayed his character is how I imagined he might be.
Yeah, and I brought him up because I know that he is not happy with the portrayal. Also,
of what?
And I watched that. I was like, you have a. I'm not gonna sit here and say that these people don't have a right to be upset.
No, I mean, it's your life. It's a portrayal of you. I just want to know what he was upset about.
I never looked at the Kareem thing and thought that it was a bad portrayal. Did you look at that? Like, how'd you feel about the Prime?
Honestly, I thought at that time he was what he said. He was just sitting there waiting for the paycheck and just kind of waiting his time out.
Maybe that's what he was upset about. Because I was just like, honestly, from all accounts that I've seen of him himself, it seemed fairly accurate to like how he carried himself and how he, went about his day-to-day life at the time. But maybe it was I was just sitting here waiting for a paycheck. Maybe he wasn't giving Magic that much credit. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he was really mad at Magic for taking that MVP award. Because honestly, if he was, I can't be mad at him.
That wasn't, that necessarily wasn't real necessarily, but
But even still, like,
But isn't Magic credited as a 5-time Finals MVP?
Yes, but I'm saying it was never going to Kareem in the first place.
Yeah.
But we got to get some drama in there somehow.
Yeah, so I mean, okay, so I think they did Michael Cooper's background pretty good because that's what Michael Cooper was. Nice church-goer guy who was, didn't want to
bouncing from team to team.
Yeah, first of all,
he was something like for a while.
No, I'm saying
he was a rookie from the first year. That was the second year. But
because they made it seem like they wasn't even going, like he was. I don't know if it was.
Coop stayed with them for his whole time.
No, I understand, but they made it seem like he was a scrub or something. Like they wasn't going to take him.
Well, when he was a rookie, he was like on a lower bench, like one of the people that just is in a warm up gear the whole time. So, I think back then they didn't have the 2-year contracts when you get drafted. I think he was only like 1 year, so he had to technically make the team again.
Okay, because I was like, y'all, the way they was portraying it, it made it seem like he wasn't that great, and they was gonna have to pray and see if God was gonna let him win a team. Like that was the way they made it seem.
Nah, I mean his second season he elevated, he got better, and then they just kept him because he was a solid member of the team. But,
well, I mean he was he was a defensive player of the year and defensive first team and second team.
Yeah, that was after all
I was after that. Yeah.
But what was weird to me? Why did we need the scene of his girl fixing the car and he was just sitting there like I don't know what to do?
I was wondering that same thing. I said to him, "Why is this happening?"
Like I can understand they want to say, "Oh yeah, women can do stuff," but like what randomly just here? Like,
well, I think it's because all the players were driving to the arena, and they were showing that him and his girl, he was all. Nervous and basically in his own head, and then she was she tried to show
she said, "Shut up and hand me a screwdriver." Okay.
Well, you couldn't find out, but you said, "What does this look like?" Because it was the same thing. Like when Kareem was just sitting there, just riding the car, listening to the news, stoic, and then Magic.
You mean to tell me they didn't have no trucks for him? You mean to tell me he in his little car for who knows how long?
It's a possibility.
I mean, yeah, because back then,
this man needs I would
small, like you was either in one of them boats or a little sports car. They ain't handle like SUVs.
Yeah, like you said, like you put Kareem on a luxury Cadillac type thing.
Something limo or something. This man needs. I know they hurting.
Maybe that was his wife's car.
Because my man back was on the top of the car, just been down the whole car ride. A character that was in there that I thought was kind of underrated, but I really enjoyed the portrayal of that character.
Okay, wait, let me guess.
Okay.
Was it the lady?
Okay, I know the lady you're talking about. It was not her. I did like her. It wasn't her.
Was it? You said they were underrated.
His mama?
No, his mama kind of. Yeah, I was just like, this is an old Christian mama right there. So I wasn't.
Okay, no, I'm talking about Gary Buster's mom.
Oh, you
Sally Fields.
Sally Fields. Oh, I like Sally Fields. No, I think
you said hold on. You said a character that you liked that was underrated, right?
Yeah, I felt. I mean, it's like maybe he wasn't so much underrated, but I felt as though that I don't think his role's being talked about enough.
Who?
I'm talking Pat Riley.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I think he'll be a more central character in the next season.
Well, he's going to have to be when he takes over the team. But I thought, the portrayal of Pat Riley, and again, especially for me knowing, well, I don't know Pat Riley, but obviously the teams that he coached and stuff like that, him being the coach for Lakers and New York and Miami and all that stuff like that, it's just like, I thought that was a real good portrayal of Pat Riley. It doesn't get talk about a lot.
Well, he's a supporting character.
Probably because he's not at his full potential, obviously.
Yeah.
So maybe the next season, obviously, when he takes over, then everybody will be talking about it. But because this is not Pat Riley's season this year, it's understandable why it's not in the forefront.
Yeah, that's what I like. Them talk about Jack McKinney and introducing the Showtime offense and explaining to people what Showtime. When the Lakers were doing it, what Showtime really means, because nowadays, Mike D'Antoni does that kind of offense now also, but back then that wasn't heard of. It was all about players getting to their spots and trying to get shots over there that, and the game was very, very slow moving.
Yeah, looking at that footage, my God.
Yeah, the game was very, very slow moving.
That's why they had them little shorts on. Y'all thought wasn't even rubbing together because y'all was just, sauntering down the court.
Literally, but then it was like, no, if we can go sit there and speed it and run them off the fast break and we run them off the court, there's no way for the defense to set. So I was like, I like how they introduced the whole Showtime method.
So that was really Jack McKinney's thing. Like,
yes.
He really originated that.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, he is known for originating the Showtime offense and how the Lakers won 5 championships in the 80s. And made to like damn near every finals in the 80s, except for like 2.
I need to know if Marshall from How I Met Your Mother's character was really like that. I don't know.
What was Marshall?
Paul, what's his name?
Jason Segel?
Oh, Jason Segel?
He is Marshall from How I Met Your Mother.
Paul Westhead? Okay. Now, do I know if Paul Westhead in real life was like a pushover? I don't know.
It wasn't even just the pushover thing. It's like, my man, we trying to get in the game, and you out here giving me Shakespeare quotes of all.
Well, he did. Well, he spent a lot of time.
Yeah, he was a Shakespeare. Yeah, he was a Shakespeare teacher. So.
I know he was a professor. I understand why it was happening.
And it's from Philly, so it's what to say Joseph's.
Well, he taught at LaSalle. It looked like.
Yeah, well, he taught at LaSalle. Yeah, but so yeah. Philly dude. But
that's right. He did send it to somebody. He was like, I guarded you at St. Joe's.
Yeah.
I can't remember who he was talking to. And he embarrassed
him. Hey, remember when Pat Riley knocked on the door Magic and he was like, yo, you the one that got dunked on.
Exactly. And they show you say that ended the career right there.
That's messed up, man. Just come on, man. If somebody got dunked on, why would you openly say, yeah, you got dunked on? We know you.
Yeah, we know you, man. You posterized back in the day.
Bro, that's definitely, that's got to be what people said when Tyronn Lue opened the door and he was somebody's coach. Did you get stepped over? Don't worry about that.
Especially over here in Philly.
Heck yeah. If he ever came
look, what he can say is, I got rings, though. He got multiple rings.
It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. You will always be
that
the
is
one
true.
Who got stepped over.
Look,
he have a good comeback. I won the finals that year.
Tyronn Lue's a good defender. Tyronn Lue has rings, but that's the
Guess
only
what?
thing he got
here
over
in Philadelphia. You got stepped over.
Like, bro, there are shirts and logos with the AI stepping over Tyronn Lue.
If I could find that shirt tomorrow, I would buy it and wear it in 2022.
That's an iconic thing to wear here in Philly. Because in Philly, don't nobody talk about Tyronn Lue other than him being on the floor getting stepped over.
We still call the City Line Avenue Fridays AI Fridays. This man has not lived here, eaten here, done anything here in God knows how long. No. Always will be the step over man. So I get it. It's gotta be. At least he took it on the chin though, because
there's nothing else you can do.
What else do you do with it?
It wasn't a pickup game. That wasn't the regular season. That was the finals. The finals in your home in LA.
That's a shame, bro.
In LA, that happened.
you know, he got some notoriety as a coach, so.
He's a good damn coach.
That's what I'm saying. I think he. But didn't you say that before? Like the role players are usually the really good.
The role players usually make the best coaches opposed to the superstars.
That's what it seems to be.
Even Kobe said that superstars don't make good coaches. Imagine the only superstar that I can think of that was a good coach was Larry Bird.
Okay.
Larry
really?
Bird. Who else? You're not about to say Bill Russell.
No. Even though he made it to the Coaching Hall of Fame. But no. I would say, I think Jason Kidd is maybe going to pan out as a great coach.
Jason Kidd is doing Jason Kidd's doing a good job as being a head coach, but Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Steve Nash.
Isaiah Thomas did. Whoa. This is Steve Nash first year. You got to wait a little bit for Steve Nash.
I don't. But, okay.
Who's he coaching right now?
Brooklyn.
Oh. I mean, all that might not be his fault.
It may not be his fault. I'll give.
Y'all gonna have to give him another shot. He gotta get a fair shake.
Isaiah Thomas in the Knicks was not that great. But if you look at the good coaches,
Magic wasn't good either, was he?
No, Magic was not. But
because Magic, Magic went from coach. Did he coach the same season that he played in?
I think so.
What?
Yeah.
In 95, 96?
Yeah, 95, 96.
A lot of things Magic did was not a good idea. The coaching, the talk show, the shit like that. A lot of things Magic did.
Oh my God, I remember the talk show.
Yeah, a lot of things Magic did was not a good idea.
Johnson thing is still hanging in there though.
But the only
no, it ain't. They just tore that thing down.
Larry Bird was the only one I know of that took Indiana to the finals in 2000 to go against Shaq and Kobe's Lakers. And the Pacers had some great seasons with Larry Bird as their coach. Mm-hmm. But the good coach like Tyronn Lue's a great coach. Mm-hmm. I think was Eddie Jordan's is Eddie Jordan, right? Good coach. Steve Kerr's a good coach. Byron Scott's a good coach. Avery Johnson is a good coach. These are all players that were role players on the team. Doc Rivers is a great coach.
Listen, don't say that here. Somebody might come in our house.
Hold on. Real quick. Let me read you. How many wins do you think Magic Johnson had as a coach?
Wins?
I'm gonna say 30.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 40.
Neither of y'all are close. 5.
Damn. Ouch.
That's the same year he came back to play. So he had 5 wins, 11 losses, and then he said, "Yeah, I'm about to play."
Yeah. Yeah. Magic can't.
Ooh,
Stars.
Baby. Everybody can't be everything.
No, stars do not make the best coaches in basketball or in sport.
Also, I'm looking at this list. Isaiah Thomas had more wins than Larry Bird did. He just didn't capitalize on it, I guess.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's just how you capitalize, because Larry, like you said, went all the way there. He was like the coach of the All-Star like 3 years or 2 years or something. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you got some people in here.
And look, Phil Jackson, Pat
Do
Riley.
you call Kevin McHale a superstar? Is he a role player?
See, here's the thing. Kevin McHale's a Hall of Famer. I mean, obviously Larry Bird's a superstar, but Kevin McHale ain't no role player. Kevin McHale's an 8-time All-Star.
There are people who fall in that gray area.
Danny Ainge is more of the role player than Kevin McHale is.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, Jerome Kersey to Clyde Drexler is more the role player type of thing. But when you have like I'm not gonna call Scottie Pippen the role player.
But there are people who they're like 1B.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
The co-pilot.
There you go.
Yeah. And I definitely put Kevin McHale is on that co-pilot thing. But yeah, Danny Ainge would be more of the role player. The superstars. That's why I think that it works out better that way. You know what I'm saying? Because
we've gone off. But yeah,
sorry.
Back to circle back. Pat Riley. Yeah. Yeah. Of what I know, I think he did a good job, but I think it was just a setup more so for him
Oh yeah, he didn't reach his final form. He ain't stuck the hair back, so we know he didn't reach his final form.
Yeah, him.
I think this is a setup for him to be more central next season.
Now, that was the one thing I want to end with. Where do you think the future of it goes? Because now I know the story. Me and Prime know the story. I know you don't know the story too much, and I'm sitting there wondering, like, because it seems like the build up here and the way the story is going, it's got to be L.A. versus Boston. Now, L.A. don't face Boston in the finals until 1984, because next year Houston beats L.A. and they go to the finals while Larry Bird wins the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Then 1982 is the rematch between Dr. J and Magic, and then in 1983. It's the other rematch, and that's when they brought Moses on and they swept him. Remember the 4-4-4? Oh, okay. You see what you look at me when the Sixers swept the Lakers and they won the championship.
Okay, so I think that maybe
and then in 1984 is when it's the first meeting in the finals between the Lakers and the Celtics.
I think that's where we start then. I think we start at 83, the 83 season, or the season that culminates then for that rematch against the Sixers.
Yeah.
And they get beat. Okay? And then it's going to show them trying to get from that time of getting beat by the Sixers. Maybe we'll get like a little montage of the time in between.
Yeah.
And then leading up to him going against Larry Bird. Because we don't have all of this Larry Bird talk without it coming to them in the finals.
Yeah.
And considering this season was really just a span of like a year and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is probably where they're going to go with the second season. So, by then Kareem is, winding down and he's trying to get into this rivalry for real with Larry Bird. So I would say mid-80s.
Okay. How about you, Brian? Like we did the few. Is it you think they'll go to 84? They're gonna go year after year, or do you think they just go to the infamous game in 1987?
I think they start. So I think they start at the beginning of the season where they face the Celtics in the finals. But then knowing how they do 4-4 breaks, I think he's gonna be like, he's probably gonna look at the camera and be like, "Let me tell you how we got here, and let me tell you how we've been since you last seen us," or something like that. And then they do flashbacks of the last 2 years or whatever. Okay. And then he's like, "See what happened? We didn't win, or whatever." If they do 4-4 breaks, they could easily 4-4 break and have the first episode just be about them losing and them trying to get back to the finals, and then the whole season can be about the season where they get to the finals or something.
Because I would like to see, when the Sixers get Moses, they like, "Oh, we're gonna sweep these Bulls," and then they're like, "Okay, well, we gotta come back," and then they lose to Larry, and I'm just like, there has to be, because
we're not gonna have him talking to this man. Said F you to his mom. We're not gonna have him doing that for no reason.
Oh yeah, fuck you,
which was a funny scene.
She said, fuck all y'all.
And then he was like, "I'm talking to nobody right now."
Because they is living in your head rent free. I personally think it'll start from 1984, which will be building up to the Lakers versus the Celtics. And for that first finals matchup. Now, of course, it's going to probably end in heartbreak because the Lakers lose. And Larry gets 2 rings over Magic. But the next year, 1985, Magic come back and they beat Celtics, so it's tied. So
I don't know I don't know if it's possible to do. Okay, I can't say it's not possible because it is possible. I don't know if it would be.
I'm sorry, it's not tied. It's tied when Larry wins the second time. But sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if it would be wise to tackle that big of a year gap, depending on how y'all want to tell this story. Like, depending on what happened in between that time. Within, like, the stuff that the B stories you need to drive the plot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously the show's not about Larry Bird, because the next year, Larry beats Houston, Ralph Sampson in Houston, and wins the championship. I don't necessarily know, like, what year did James Worthy come in? Prime.
I 80. I don't know. Is it 83, 82?
I think 82, 83.
Yeah, because he came in before Jordan. So
Yeah. So it's a possibility. I'm not necessarily sure, but I'm happy you got a second season. Do y'all think that with people being or the parties involved being upset, do you think that they'll be forced to change it?
They might.
nah.
They might.
I don't think they would change it. I think they'll probably tone a few characters down, but I don't think they're gonna change it. No.
That's what I'm saying.
Like Jerry West still gonna be cussing and stuff.
Make a few more concessions.
Yeah. Well, guys, that is our review for Winning Time. Me personally, we all enjoy it. I think overall, all of our grades put together is overall like about a BB plus show. Yeah, so that's a good show. And I think it's been. I think, like I said, I'll go back and show you episode 3 the other day because you did miss. I was like, yeah, she did miss episode 3. So
I seen that clip of him talking to his mama. That was a mess. But yeah, the rest of it I missed.
So yeah, but yeah, I can't wait to see it. So I know if I come back next year, I want to see where it's going. I hope it don't change it too much because as a fan, I'm enjoying it. But I do understand if somebody's not liking it, there it is. So, but post a comment down below how you guys enjoy Winning Time, and with other series that we don't go over with it episodically, we'll come back and review it like this with the whole season. So once again, this is NC Place Speech Mr. D, not Deion Sanders for Prime Time.
All right, y'all.
And the Greatest Catch Day sketch.
It's been real.
All right, and we'll see you on the next channel.